1. Introduction to legal identity and corrective affidavits. Modern systems of governance function primarily through commercial and contractual structures, rather than recognition of natural, sovereign identity. Within this framework, individuals are administratively reduced to legal fictions, identities held in trust by state and commercial actors. The process of reclaiming one's status begins with understanding this administrative fiction and then correcting one's standing through an unrebutted affidavit. This instrument serves not merely as a declaration, but as an enforceable contract in commerce. Footnote: the unrebutted affidavit acts as a binding contract in commerce that distinguishes natural identity from legal fiction. 2. Commerce, trusts, and maritime jurisdiction. The entire global administrative system operates under the pretext of maritime law, trade, and commercial trusts, historically rooted in naval exploration and colonial enterprise. Legal jurisdiction is exercised not over the living man or woman, but over the account, or legal fiction, established at birth. Recognition of this fiction through engagement, such as responding to a court as Mr. or identifying one's occupation, cements an individual's subordination to the commercial system. Footnote: jurisdiction is asserted over legal fictions, not living beings, under maritime commercial law. 3. Function and authority of the Affidavit of Truth. An affidavit of truth, when unrebutted, supersedes administrative presumption and becomes binding. Written from the perspective of the soul, the highest unalienable authority, the affidavit repudiates Vatican-based spiritual claims and trust ownership constructs such as unam sanctum. It establishes the affiant as the principal and sole beneficiary of the trust, and therefore, entitled to declare and occupy the office of the executive. Footnote: an unrebutted affidavit from the soul nullifies ecclesiastical claims over the living being. 4. Legal symbolism, formatting, and flag jurisdiction. In accordance with commercial practice, jurisdiction is symbolically asserted by placing one's unique national flag in the upper left corner of legal documents. This replicates sovereign claims similar to national treaties and military landings. Additionally, design elements such as square brackets, denoting exclusion, and double quotes, denoting third-party terms, serve to protect against fraudulent interpretation. Each component reinforces the private jurisdiction of the affiant. Footnote: legal formatting, including use of brackets and flags, demarcates private jurisdiction. 5. Establishment of the office of the executive. The legal fiction is a trust entity lacking an appointed executor. By declaration through affidavit, the natural man or woman claims the role of executive administrator, preventing courts or agencies from stepping into the vacant role. This preempts presumptive jurisdiction by requiring all agents to recognize and interact solely through the office of the executive under contract terms already established. Footnote: claiming the office of the executive prevents courts and agencies from asserting unauthorized control. 6. Schedule of fees and remedies. An annexure to the affidavit details a schedule of contractual fees for unauthorized use of the trust name, unlawful interaction, or breach of executive authority. These acts incur commercial penalties, often significant, such as $50,000 per infraction. Once unrebutted, this fee schedule binds all named parties by contract, providing lawful remedy and deterrence. Footnote: contractual fee schedules establish pre-agreed remedies enforceable upon breach. 7. Trust law supremacy and enforcement via invoicing. Trust law operates superior to commercial law, and an executive beneficiary is entitled to issue lawful invoices for contractual breaches. By recording each interaction, documenting notice, and applying the agreed-upon fees, remedy can be enforced under commercial law. Continued violations constitute enforceable claims, even across jurisdictions, including against public officials. Footnote: uncontested invoices arising from affidavit-based agreements constitute lawful commercial claims. 8. Legal transfer of title via bill of sale. Property, including homes, cars, or other titled assets, registered in the legal fiction's name is held in public trust. As executive, the affiant may issue a bill of sale transferring said property to the living man or woman. The transaction must reference silver or gold as lawful consideration, in compliance with statutory definitions of currency. Once transferred, assets may be protected via private trust. Footnote: executives can transfer trust assets to the private domain via a lawful bill of sale. 9. Cease-and-desist notification to agencies and courts. Following establishment of the office of the executive, a cease-and-desist declaration is issued to all public and corporate entities. This document binds all parties to honor the newly asserted executive authority, with commercial penalties enforced for breach. Failure to adhere to the terms constitutes a willful violation of contract and incurs remedy as per the schedule of fees. Footnote: formal cease-and-desist notifications bind all parties to the executive authority declared. 10. Restoration of power and jurisdiction of the living man or woman. The cumulative function of the affidavit process, bill of sale, and executive establishment is the reclamation of individual sovereignty. These actions remove the affiant from presumptive jurisdiction and restore autonomous standing in law. The process, while unconventional, is consistent with trust law, equity, and the commercial framework upon which modern legal systems operate. Footnote: these lawful instruments restore jurisdiction to the living man or woman outside corporate fictions.